Time out. I got it. I'll wait for you guys to gather, everybody gather around so we can chat. Say hello down in the comments. Let me know that you are here and introduce yourself. Where are you watching from? I am in Southern Oregon on the Pacific Northwest part of the country. So I've got myself up on the computer over here so I can watch the live chat so I can read, because when I'm watching and hanging out with you all, I can't always see what's going on in the chat. So if I look over here to my right, it's because I have my computer over here and I'm checking the comments so that I can keep up with you guys and stay up with the whole chat. So this live today, we are going to talk about grocery budgets, and maybe you all can help me come up with some ideas for what to call this grocery challenge, because what I'm going to do is in the month of November, I'm doing an extreme grocery challenge for myself so that I can spend as little money at the grocery store as possible. Of course, that's always the goal, but we've been stacking and stocking up food in our pantry for the last year and a half or so. And we cycle through it, we rotate through it, but I really want to try to save as much money at the grocery store over the next 2-3 months. So if you guys have any ideas what we can call that challenge, I would love to hear them. Erin said, call it balling on a budget. So there's an idea. What are you guys drinking on tonight? I've got Erin's Master Cup, and it's filled with herbal tea, kava, stress relief or something like that. So I'm drinking a warm cup of tea, staying nice and toasty because it's been really cold here. The weather has turned. Say hi down in the comments if you're just hopping on. We're going to talk about our November grocery challenge. Hi, Mel. And I'm going to challenge myself to a very strict budget so we can talk about that. It's cold there too. Yes, it's been so cold. Frozen ground. The ground is frozen. And where we live, we're kind of down in a holler. So we get the sun in front of us, but on either side we have hills, so it gets blocked out. We have very little sunlight here during the day that hits our yard, so our ground stays frozen. Pretty good this time of year. I didn't do any garlic planting. I haven't gotten any of that done. Not prepared. All right, let me see how you guys are doing. Hello. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. It's been a long time. I started doing Monday night lives, Motherhood Mondays. What were we calling them? Matriarch Mondays. We were having lots of Monday night live chats. And then I took a break for a little while. Life just got kind of crazy, and I said, I'm just going to nix some things. So eliminated the chat for the summertime, and now we're getting back into winter and things are slowing down. Life is kind of giving us a pause so we can start doing our Monday night lives again. How have you guys been this week? You're doing a no shopping challenge too, and you need to purchase a generator. So you're trying to save up your grocery money for that. I understand that. That is the big expense. I think I'm trying to save my no shopping challenge for January. I'm going to try to do a pantry challenge. And last year I was still stocking up my pantry. So I did really not very well at the pantry challenge, but because I was still trying to stock from Azure in various places so that I could prepare for this year. And so I'm ready to start using up more of those food stores, especially because Erin retires in November and we're going to have a lapse in pay for who knows how long. And we've been stocking up food in preparation for this because I knew we would have to dip into savings. I knew we would have to scrimp and budget and be very frugal for these winter months while we kind of figure out the new normal, as they like to say. So we've got to figure out our new normal as far as retirement goes, military retirement. We've got to figure out a new budget for all of that. And then Aaron has, he's in school and he's in a program to get some certifications through the PGA, which is the Professional Golf Association. So this winter he's going to be very busy in school and doing his PGA certifications. So we have our 5 kids homeschooled with us, and all 7 of us are home full-time right now. So it's been a process that's been happening over the last year, and right now it's a permanent sort of thing because his part-time work at the golf course is ending. He was working part-time there. So that work is ending for the winter, and we've got to figure out what's next in life. So we're taking this season to kind of tune in, rest, recover from the chaos from the last 13 years that I've been married, and alongside Aaron in the military. And so we're just going to take this season to chill out, rest, rejuvenate, regroup, and not make any rash decisions. Because for the last 2 to 3 years, we've been on this highly emotional roller coaster ride with this medical retirement. So it's been hugely stressful, to say the least. And I think we both just need a season to let our nervous systems calm down and to get back an equilibrium. Like, we need to get on this road, get off of this road. So that's what we're going to focus on this winter. So I think that by having the grocery budget challenge in November, and then December, just kind of try to be frugal. Then in December, hit the pantry challenge really hard, where we just live off of our food stores. So the reason why I want just a limited budget in November is because I'm just not really prepared for anything. I mean, I'm prepared, but I want to kind of ease my way into the January pantry challenge where I don't want to grocery shop. So that's why we're going to do the minimal grocery budget in November, and I think we're going to stick to $75 a month, and that, or $75 a week, and that includes Azure Standard. And I've already placed my Azure Standard order, and that is going to be my first week of November grocery haul because I get it on Friday of this coming week, excuse me. So I'm getting that on Friday, and that will be my first November grocery haul on my budget. So that'll be $75 or under, hopefully, because I get a credit. I have a credit on there, and Azure Cash and all that kind of stuff. So all of that money comes off of my grand total, and it was between like $70, $75 for that Azure haul. So then the following week, I'm going to need to probably start dipping in or getting into produce. So the following week's budget is going to be $75 max. And that might sound like a lot, but if you have a family of 5 or more people, then you know that that doesn't buy very much food. So it is going to be a challenge because we eat a lot of fresh produce, a whole lot of fresh produce, and I have a whole bunch of frozen vegetables and frozen fruit and freeze-dried vegetables and freeze-dried fruit, canned, preserved produce. So I buy so much fresh produce at the grocery store every month. I need to just bite the bullet and try to exclusively live off of all of our preserved produce. So we're going to ease our way into that. And then January, it's going to be full-on pantry challenge month. So November, like I said, we're just easing into it. December, we'll get there when we get there. We'll cross that bridge in December and see what we're going to do with the grocery budget. Probably still stay really frugal. My plan is for the next 3 months to cut my grocery bill by like 80%, over the next 3 months average. Maybe that's a little bit, that's just like my guess percentage, So we're going to work on it, and we're going to really try hard not to dip into our savings as much as possible, because that money is there for situations like this, when there's a job loss, when there's an emergency, when there's some kind of expense. And I really don't want to touch it, but we're going to have to, because that's just life, right? You have savings for a reason. You put back a portion of your paycheck every month for a reason, and it's for times like this. It's the same reason why we prep our food and why we've been stocking for the last 2 years-ish, stocking our pantry like crazy, because we knew this time was coming. It's the military, hurry up and wait. So you have heard me say for the last probably 3 years that we're going through a retirement process, and it's just taken that long. It's taken that long because it's not a standard retirement. It was a medical retirement. So it's taken a long time. So I'm just going to read over here at your comments and catch up with everybody that's here. Debbie says, hello. It's cold for them in Eastern Washington the last week too. Freezing temps. Jim, or JMM, I'm doing a no shopping challenge. You're purchasing the generator. And then Mel says she keeps saying she's not going to shop for a month, but can't bring herself to stop adding to her pantry. Maybe not as much, but still can't stop. I feel that like 100%. I'm nervous about dwindling down our food stores and not replenishing them over the next couple months, because we're in crazy times, and maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I should still be stocking food like a mad woman. There's a lot going on in the world, and we are on the cusp of a World War III. Not trying to scare anybody, but that's just the fact of the matter. So if you haven't stocked your pantry, if you're not prepared, now is the time to do that. And I don't want to say it's too late, because I don't want to be doom and gloom, but there needs to be a supply of food, a minimal 3 months if possible, in your home. The best way to do that, I've shared on my channel. If you go back to my pantry restock playlist video, I have like the top 10 items to stock in your pantry on a budget, to stock in bulk. So if you need ideas, you need staple ideas, go check out the pantry restocking playlist for those videos that I did about a year and a half ago. And that's going to give you all of the nuts and bolts of how I started stocking my pantry, where I focused my finances, where I focused my food stores and everything like that. If you need more help with that, if you need more ideas and more, like if you desire structure around your pantry, and if you desire a list and you want to know, what do I need in my pantry to survive a whole year? I have this book. It's the Off-Grid Prep Family, 1 Year of Food. And this book is pretty awesome. It has recipes for all of the foods in your pantry. It has a list of everything that you need to stock in your pantry. It has a garden planner. It's got lists, like, I know it's dark in here, you're not going to be able to see, but you can make lists of your household supplies, and it tells you what you need to have in your house to get through a year. So if you struggle like I did with what do I need to stock for my family to get us through a specific period of time, it's the Off-Grid Prep Family 1 Year of Food book, and you can get that on Amazon. I also collaborated with them to make my own homesteading planner book. Let me get that and I'll show you guys that. But this 1 Year of Food book is very valuable, because you've got how to grow food, you've got grocery lists, monthly meal plans, yearly meal plans, storage tips. You've got all of your food lists and all of your recipes all in one place, so that you can plan and prep to have a solid year's worth of food stored up in your pantry, shelf-stable foods, everything that you need. So that's the Off-Grid Prep Family 1 Year Food. And then this is the book Is this the book? Or was this the book? This is the Off-Grid Prep Family Ultimate Mom's Planner, Homestead Homeschooling Prepping book as well. This is a really good book. And then I don't have my book. My book's, oh, because mine's in the kitchen. And then I have a book. It's a Rouse Rising Homesteading Planner book. And that is also on Amazon. So the Off-Grid Prep Family, if you look up this on Amazon, you'll be able to find all of their books to help you organize and get your pantry locked and loaded and ready to go. So highly recommend those. And Mel says, your weather changed. You're in the southeast and you have a freeze watch for tonight. Am I still walking daily? Yes, but I've taken the last 4 days off. I had a bit of a flare episode, and also as a woman, we always get our rest period. So I took a couple of days off, and today I wanted to start walking again. Ran out of time because I booked this live, and I'm still kind of not feeling 100%. So today, for some reason, been feeling really kind of woozy, and that happens when my thyroid gets kind of out of whack. I kind of start feeling loopy, like I'm in a fishbowl, or like the room's spinning faster than I'm moving my head, if that makes sense. So I didn't go on my walk today, but I hope tomorrow to start back up. I think I just needed another day of rest. So tomorrow we're going to get back at it because it's my therapy. So walking every day is my therapy, and it's how I've gotten through definitely the last couple months, the last 2 months solid. And I needed it for my heart and for my soul and for my sanity. And I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I started walking daily. And of course, listen to your body. Take the time off when you need to take the time off. And I do when I need to take a day off or 4 days off. I don't guilt myself or feel bad about it. I just know that I need to rest. I was in so much pain 4 days ago. I was in excruciating, like doubled over pain, and I am feeling much better now, but I'm kind of coming out of all of that. So that's life. And I think I kind of left you guys hanging on my whole health situation. So I'm not sure if you guys are interested in hearing about what's going on with that and what the future's looking like with that. But I'm not sure I'm ready to talk about all that just yet. But I can kind of give you the down low. I've been doing a bunch of testing to try to figure out what's going on, why I'm in so much pain. And back in March, I had autoimmune testing, and was, when you get that autoimmune panel back, you can either have positive ANA test results or you can have negative ANA test results. And I was positive for a couple of things. So right now we're just trying to manage my symptoms and keep everything from progressing until I can get into specialists. So that's where I'm at with all of that. What's going on is scleroderma, and according to my test results, and I'm waiting to get the official diagnosis from a rheumatologist, but it's SCL17. And don't Google it because it's scary. So I'm just doing everything I can right now. I'm working with a functional medicine specialist until I can get into the rheumatologist and until I can get into a scleroderma clinic. And I'm taking medications, and I'm on a gut protocol, and I'm taking some medication that has been shown to slow the progression of scleroderma. So I'm just going to leave it at that because it's highly emotional, and I don't want to do that tonight. So we're just going to leave it at that. And then also, of course, you guys know I have celiacs and Hashimoto's. So I've been busting my butt for 15 years to get healthy, and I just didn't get healthy. I got worse. So that's kind of the boat that I'm in right now. And it's been hard. So I was in denial for like this first 6 months since getting that news. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I've just been trying to like not think about it since, other than being proactive in my healthcare and trying to do right by my diet, right by my supplements, trying to stop the damage in my gut, the damage that's happening in my esophagus, and potentially other organs. So just focused on trying to heal my gut, because your immune system exists in your gut. That's the most important thing. And if you've had a lot of stress in your life or lots of struggles, things like that, your gut gets really stressed out and it has a hard time rebounding, and you can get overgrowth of bacteria in there, and you can get all sorts of immune system problems. So I have an immunoglobulin deficiency as well, so I have a hard time battling ear, nose, and throat infections, and I was getting sick a whole lot. I'm talking about every 6 weeks I was getting an infection. I have not had one in 2 months since I started this gut protocol, and since I started taking cow colostrum. Even though I'm supposed to be dairy-free, I started taking a colostrum supplement, and it's my hope, it's my prayer that this cow colostrum has helped my body make immunoglobulin of that subclass, so that I have been able to keep infections at bay. Typically, when I go to a dentist, every time I go to the dentist and have my teeth cleaned, I get this raging infection in my throat. Every single time. I went to the dentist 2 weeks ago and did not get an infection at all. So that is a huge, 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 huge deal, because I've been dealing with that for 8 years. And to finally, hopefully, we haven't gotten into the thick of the winter, but to hopefully maybe be on the path to producing immunoglobulin so that I can fight illness so I'm not sick all the time, is a really good thing. So I'm feeling positive. I'm not gonna lie, 2 months ago, I was absolutely crushed and hopeless. I started researching the autoimmune disease scleroderma and the specific one that was on my test results. And I just went down like a really bad, dark road, and decided like that's not going to be my story. That's not going to be the path that I go down. So my primary care physician wasn't doing anything for me. She just said, I'm going to refer you to specialists. And in the meantime, you're just gonna whatever. And that wasn't okay with me. I said, I need some kind of guidance. I need to know what to do to spare myself, to keep myself from getting really worse, because it's a degenerative disease. So I reached out to my previous care provider who moved out of the area, and she became my virtual care provider, and we got on a plan, and I have hope. So I went from hopeless 2 months ago to having hope now, and that's a good thing. We're moving up. There's hope. So she said she can't cure what's going on, but we can help lessen the severity. We can help slow the progression. We can do all these things to help it not be what you read on the internet, because that's scary stuff. So I've been dealing with it for a really, really long time and searching for answers for a really long time. And to finally have some kind of like it's terrible validation that there's something going on in my body's attacking itself. That was like disheartening, but also, okay, now we know what to do, or try to do, because there's not much you can do. But there's advancements, and there's medical advancements all the time, and we're learning so much about the gut, and we're learning about the immune system and how it's involved with the gut. So I'm hopeful that if I can help heal my gut and what's been happening there, that I can heal my immune system and stop some of the attack that's going on. So that's the journey I've been on. That's actually why I started this channel. There's 2 reasons why I started my channel. The first reason was if anything ever happened to me, that my kids would have all of mom's recipes, everything that mom did in one place. And the second reason was to share about my struggles with autoimmune diseases. And at the time when I started this channel, I only had Hashimoto's and I struggled with it. I've always struggled with it throughout pregnancy, postpartum. Um, it's another one of those roller coaster rides, constant medication adjustments. I didn't tackle my thyroid issues early on, so now I'm dependent on medication and I haven't been able to get off of it safely. So that's kind of a bummer. But through diet and lifestyle, I've been able to be as healthy as I possibly can. And to some people, that might not seem very healthy, but to me, it's like, wow, it's an improvement from where I was when I wasn't taking care of myself and when I was neglecting myself and not eating right. I was told 8 years ago, stop eating dairy, stop eating gluten. I didn't quit gluten, and look at me now. I cannot tolerate gluten anymore. So, and I was forewarned. So, if you have a care provider that's a function medicine specialist and they are advising you on your diet, listen to them because they know what's up. I didn't listen to mine, and I'm back with her now and I'm listening to her now. She even said, cut out rice. And I cut out rice. All right, this is what happened. This is what happened 4 days ago. I cut out rice for the last 2 months or whatever from my diet personally. And I've barely cooked it at all for my family. I've probably cooked it twice in that time. Um, I cut out the rice. I was feeling really, really, really good. And I decided to start eating rice. And then I was eating ice cream, dairy ice cream, and that's loaded with sugar. So I had the rice and I had the ice cream and then had horrible, horrible pain and inflammation. Um, so that kind of tells me that my body doesn't handle stuff like that very well. I was doing great on rice, and I don't think it affects me that much, but I think just like the simple sugar of all of it is what could be causing my inflammation. So if you know about foods and inflammation, and sugar can cause a ton of inflammation, and so many things can cause inflammation. I had gotten down to such a limited amount of food um, that it was like, for me, it was horribly depressing because I'm a foodie. I love food. And to be dwindled down to like a handful of foods. But I felt good. I felt good on that. But I'm a rebel too. And I'm like, I'm going to eat what I want to eat and have a cheat day or whatever, have a couple cheat days. Or, oh, the first day it didn't bother me, but 3 days in a row, it catches up with you and the inflammation catches up with you and your gut starts going, oh my gosh, all this sugar and all the bad gut bacteria start overpopulating your gut. And then the next thing you know, you're riddled with inflammation and you're knocked down and out and you're in pain. And I can tell you most of my pain's on my right side, but I get like this weird, insane shooting nerve pain in different areas of my body. It'll affect me in one area for 3 days. It'll go to a different area for 3 days, 2 days. It migrates. I might have it in 3 different areas of my body. And I'm like, what is this pain? It's bizarre, but it is worse when I neglect my diet, when I'm careless with my diet. So as long as I stick to meat, fruit, and like a couple of vegetables like greens, for the most part, I can do like squashes and sweet potatoes and things like that sometimes. But I've got to be pretty limited, otherwise I'm suffering. And just maybe when my gut's healed, it gets better. I don't know. We'll just have to see. I've done multiple gut protocols, and it always gets damaged again from stress or from COVID or from whatever craziness affects our guts. Yeah, so that is why we believe these autoimmune diseases are now rearing their ugly heads because of stress and illness and the chronic infections. Trauma. I injured my back when I was 16, herniated discs in my back. I now have degenerative disc disease, and I've got some other things going, subluxations and different things going on in my neck and spine. And all of that inflammation in my neck and spine cause my gut to be out of whack too. So all these things are intricately connected. So if you've got stress and trauma in your life and it's chronic stress and trauma or chronic pain and trauma, whatever, it affects your gut majorly. And that can leave your body susceptible to autoimmune diseases, or your body just starts attacking itself. So it's craziness. So I'm going to read these comments again and get caught back up. So walking has been my saving grace, because I am walking every day. I'm clearing my head. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm getting educated about different autoimmune things. I'm learning how to help myself. I'm staying mobile. And that's the most important thing, because with scleroderma, you get collagen buildup in different organs. Some people know scleroderma as the skin one, and I don't have any skin lesions yet. I haven't experienced anything like that. I don't have a lot of the crest symptoms. I think what is the potential for me is lots of joint and soft connective tissue pain and inflammation, and then some organ involvement. So we know my gut's involved. We know that my esophagus is being affected. We know that my gut is being affected by scleroderma just by an array of symptoms, but we're going to have all that stuff checked out. Also have to have my lungs checked out. Been having some pain and pressure, trouble taking deep breaths with my lungs for about the past year, but it's gotten kind of increasing. So I'm trying not to think about that. I try not to think about any of the stuff, because when you start to think about it and you go down the rabbit hole, you're like, oh my God, I'm dying. No, I'm not. I'm not. But it's easy to go there when you start researching these autoimmune diseases. So it's hard to talk about. And thank you, Brandy. Yeah, and if you have one autoimmune disease, you are susceptible for more. It's just the cruel reality of it. So I thought that by taking good care of myself, that I would prevent more autoimmune disease. And that was a slap in the face back in March when I got those diagnoses. I was like, what? What do you mean? I've worked my butt off to be healthy. How does this happen? How does this happen? Yes, great team of doctors that are willing to research and talk. Yeah. So that's what we're working on now. I've got to see a rheumatologist, an endocrinologist, an immunologist, and a gastroenterologist. 4 specialists. I'm thinking once I see the rheumatologist that I'll be transferred. My care will likely be, see, that'll be like my local rheumatologist, but I think my care will get transferred to a scleroderma clinic up in Portland. There's one in Seattle. There's one down in like San Francisco, Sacramento area. Like they're all over the country, but they're at bigger hospitals. So my goal is to work with my functional medicine specialist and to not have to have all of these really invasive medical treatments. But that's to be determined. I'm trying to go the natural way with everything, like I always have. But I am taking medications, prescriptions right now. So I was on about steroids for a week, one of my last flares, to get that under control. And then now I'm taking hydroxychloroquine, and I'm taking that twice a day. And that's to help slow the progression of scleroderma. So we'll see how all this pans out, but I'm just staying faithful And I'm not gonna let that be my life because I used to be an extreme sports athlete. Once I was injured when I was 16, I stayed with it until I was 25. With all those harsh sports, I crashed my dirt bike. I wrecked my body. My shoulders messed up. My neck's messed. Everything's messed up, right? Um, and that's where I think this autoimmune stuff kind of came from, was all of the trauma and stuff that I put my body through in my lifetime. And now you guys see me and you think I'm probably like this, calm, nice, sweet little Susie homemaker. And while, yes, that is me now, back in the day, I was a wreck. I was a wild woman, wild child, going out and snowboarding, downhill mountain biking, motocross, partying, racing, wildlife. And that started early. Then I settled down. Once Aaron and I got back together and got married, we didn't really settle down. Who am I kidding? We didn't settle down, but we settled down together. It's been a wild ride, and that's why we're just taking this winter. My rheumatology appointment is in January. That was a whole nother thing. I was referred to specialists back in March, and I dropped the ball, and the doctor's offices dropped the ball because the immunologist said they wouldn't see me because I needed to see an immunologist that specialized in rheumatology. And I said, "Where's that unicorn?" And so because I didn't know where to go to from there, I just said, just denial, 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 denial about all of it. Just said, it's not happening to me. And then I went back to the doctor 2 months ago, and she's like, "You still haven't been to the rheumatologist?" And I said, "No, this is what happened." And she said, "That's not acceptable. You've got to get into a rheumatologist. You cannot let this go. This is not one of those diseases that you can just let go." Yeah, the medications that they're prescribing doesn't work against each other. Yes, that is important. Oh yeah, and which my dad is a respiratory care therapist, so I'm gonna have to go and have all the respiratory testing done to see if it's affecting my lungs and to get like a baseline lung function test is basically what it is, so that they can check that yearly to make sure that it is or isn't affecting my lungs, and if it is, how fast. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff. So we're kind of hanging out here in Oregon for the next year. The good thing about the military is when they retire you, you have a 1 year grace period that they'll move you, and then you can file for extensions after that. So if we come to a year next November and we're not ready to move yet, then we can file an extension, and we can do that for up to 3 years if it gets approved. So right now we're staying put in Oregon through this winter. Aaron has a job lined up for the spring, summer, and fall. So we'll just play it by ear. We're kind of seeing he has to stay here for his continuity of care with his care providers until he gets on the permanent retired list this time next year. And then for me, we are just trying to figure out what the heck's happening, what's going to happen, and who my team needs to be. And it's just been a long, drawn out process. And I shouldn't have dropped the ball months ago because I'm really far behind now. And as far as care goes, so that's why I got with a functional medicine specialist, was to get some kind of care going to slow whatever's happening, because it's progressive. So yeah, I'll have a team. That's another thing we're kind of waiting to see if scleroderma is actually affecting me, or if this is just a result of Hashimoto's, all these symptoms that I'm experiencing. Are they scleroderma symptoms? And then where to go from there. So that's where we're at, you guys. I just have to play the waiting game right now and take these 5 million supplements. I mean, you should see it. It's ridiculous. You have to take like a supplement before you eat, between meals, when you wake up, before you go to sleep, and then all the other times. And it's a lot of stuff. And it's a bit insane. I don't know if I should take you guys through a day of like a day in my life with autoimmune and share with you like all of this stuff. I don't know if you guys are even interested in all of that. It's definitely not medical advice for anybody. It's just what I'm doing and what I'm going through and what these things are supposed to do for my body, because the biggest problem right now is digestive stuff. So we're trying to get that. We're trying to get my body absorbing nutrition because it's not. And we're trying to get my gut to function. We're trying to get it to digest food appropriately. It's not. Trying to get a handle on this heartburn. It's horrendous and it's every day, all day. But hopefully some of these supplements and some of the things that I'm doing with my diet help all of that. But there's definitely some kind of GI involvement because of the issues that I've been experiencing. So, all right, enough doom and gloom. I didn't want to talk about that. Do I have a chiropractor? Yes, I do. Although I'm going to get a new chiropractor because I really feel like chiropractors should look at the whole person and not just snap, crack, get you out. I feel like there has to be a chiropractor out there that looks at the whole person and treats the whole person. Because my experience with my last 3 chiropractors has been snap, crack, and you're out in like under 5 minutes. And I don't appreciate that kind of care at all. I need more personalized care, especially when I'm paying an arm and a leg. It should be more than 5 minutes of time spent with me. And I think I would get that with a female chiropractor. My last 3 chiropractors have been male. So I need to find a female chiropractor. You just found out you're pregnant and congratulations, you're 35 years old. Do I have any tips? Go check out my pregnancy, birth, postpartum playlist because I have all my tips, tricks, suggestions, how to handle all the pain in pregnancy, how to wrap your belly, how to get support, the best pregnancy tea to drink so that you can nourish your body and prepare your muscles for pushing out that baby. I've got your first trimester tea recipe over there. I've got your second trimester tea recipe, third trimester tea recipe, and they are amazing. They're delicious. I mix them. I've got my infrared heater on in front of me, you guys. I think it's like a little bit too hot because my cheeks are turning pink. But pregnancy, birth, postpartum playlist. Check it out. I've got over like all the supplements and everything I took, the prenatals that I took, the organ meats, all that kind of stuff. So if you're pregnant, I definitely highly recommend taking some kind of organ meat supplement, some kind of liver supplement, something like that. But I'm not a doctor, so it's not medical advice. It's just what I did to nourish me and nourish my body and nourish my baby when I was pregnant so that we could all be healthy and not depleted. So all of that is really important. You can get a lot of nutrition from teas. So highly recommend drinking herbal teas. Look at me. I got 2. I got Aaron's Master's Cup because the Masters, that's a dream. That's a dream for him. And so that's the future. And then this is my nighttime tea that I've got warming up back here on my little warming pad. But herbal teas. I haven't quit coffee yet, but that's in the works. I'm quitting coffee. I love coffee. So I don't think I want to do that in the wintertime. Have any of you quit coffee? It's real easy for me to quit coffee when I get pregnant because I have a massive aversion to it. So I quit coffee for about 20 weeks, usually in pregnancy. But I weaned myself down a couple weeks ago and I was down to 1 cup, but now I'm drinking 4 cups again. And I need to just nix it all together and switch over to green tea and antioxidant herbal tea blends. That's what I should be drinking. Hi, Carol. I just saw your comment, Carol. I hope you're still on here. I wish I could get the kids in here to say hi to you too. They'd love to say hi. They're all out there watching Little House on the Prairie with their dad. So they're all snuggled up. We've got this little couch, and all 6 of them are piled up on the couch like sardines. And we've got this big house, and all of us are all in the same room all the time together, no matter where we are in the house, except for now because I've got the door shut. But we're just always together, just except for at night. We all sleep in 3 different rooms at night. Cheryl says, you've got this one step at a time, one day at a time, never lose hope. My middle name is Hope, so I won't lose hope. I'm thinking about, and I don't know, maybe you guys can comment your thoughts down below about this. So this channel right here is all about food, basically, how I feed my family. And I just I really struggle with sharing about autoimmune stuff on my channel. As in, maybe it needs its own place because it is such a huge part of my life, but I also don't want to be associated with it. Is that weird? I don't want to be this person that's this weak person that has this horrible autoimmune disease. I don't want to be that person. Because that's not who I am. But I wonder if I should start, I thought about starting a whole nother channel and just calling it Katie's Hope, where I share about my autoimmune journey, because nobody wants to hear about that here. It's such a Debbie Downer, but I want to share hope about something that can be really scary and really horrible. And that's, part of the reason why I started this channel, was to show other moms that were struggling maybe with an autoimmune disease, or that were struggling with a military life, or that were struggling being lonely and not having a tribe, not having a community. I wanted this channel to be kind of that place for like-minded mothers who are like me, and that maybe are really struggling in their life. But I wanted to be that light that, hey, I have lots of struggles too. We all have struggles. You have struggles. You have struggles. And we all have all these crazy different struggles. But look at what we can do if we just put one foot in front of the other every single day. We just get up. We're not going to sulk in it. We're not going to sit in depression. We're not going to allow this to consume our life, because it can. But we're not going to let it. We're not going to let it consume our life. We're going to still get up every day and rise and cook and live, survive. We're going to fight, right? We're going to keep fighting. We never quit, but we never quit. So just gotta keep battling. So I've been thinking about that a lot. I'm like, should we start another channel here dedicated to all the autoimmune stuff, because I'm going to be seeing lots of doctors and specialists and having testing done. And I don't know about the whole gastroenterologist thing. I talked with my provider about that, and she was like, look, in order to get an official celiac diagnosis, they have to go in and take a sample of your gut. Do you really want that kind of invasive thing? Or you know that you have ANA markers, you know that you have symptoms, you know that the symptoms get better when you eliminate gluten completely. So should we just stick with that and just know that and stay off of celiacs? Or do you go ahead and have the invasive testing done on your gut to see if you have it? And I'm like, I don't want anything extra done to me that doesn't need to be done. I can just modify my diet. I don't need an official biopsy of my gut to tell me something. I know what I need to do so that I'm not in pain and so that I'm not having the gut problems. And so we're doing that. So, but the respiratory testing, the rheumatology testing, the endocrinology testing, all that stuff. So tomorrow I go in for a blood test, first thing in the morning. It was actually today. It was supposed to be today, but the power went out in town. Um, the kids, this was going to be my morning. Aaron was working. The kids had picture day in town for homeschool because we do homeschool through the state. It's a long story. But anyway, so they do like a homeschool picture day when all the other students have their picture day that are in school. But I had an appointment super early, had to get all the kids ready for picture day, and I'm scrambling to get all this done this morning, and in walks my knight in shining armor to save the day. And he left work to come home and sit with the kids so that I didn't have to take them into the doctor's office to get all these blood tests done. So he sat with them at home. I ran into town. The power was out in town, so the doctor's office was closed. I came back home, got a message that picture day was canceled, so whew, got the day off after all, after the most crazy hectic morning that we've had in a long time. So just got to hang out here at home with the family, and then Aaron went, elk season starts on Wednesday, so he and his buddy that he's hunting with, they went and did a bunch of elk scouting, and the kids and I just hung out here at home and made some treats and made some dinner and hung out. So, well, we did all of our schoolwork this morning, and Aaron was able to help with that. So he's kind of become the designated homeschool dad, and maybe we should do a Q&A with him because he is killing it at homeschooling the kids. He's really taken to it. So I was doing it initially, and then I sent him to the seminar to learn how to do the parent-teacher side of it because I already knew how to do it and needed him to know how to do it in my absence for whatever reason, if I'm not around or if I need help from him to help with the kids. So he went to that seminar and then came back, and he knows it all now. And so he just took over, which worked out really great because, is that him? There he is. He's listening to me now. He took over and he's doing really great. And then that allows me to do all the cooking or whatever else that I need to do around the house. And before he started doing that, I was trying to homeschool 4 kids, occupy a toddler, and cook nourishing meals, and try to vlog and, keep this channel going and everything. And it was insanity. Insanity. And then Aaron came home full-time last year, and it was like a big adjustment period for me because he came home and he needed a mission, so he took over with a lot of the kid tasks and a lot of the shuffling around and all that stuff. And then I was like, I don't know what to do because now my routine's been thrown off. And here we are almost a full year later. We're almost a year since he came home full-time, and we're in a groove. We're in a groove, and we found what works. And what works the best, I mean, he's going to go back to work eventually, but what works really good right now is him managing the homeschool. And I step on his toes and I get barked at. So I just like stay in the kitchen and I help Annika with hers, and help the kids when they have questions and stuff. But it's worked out really good because that's his mission, and he's actually returning to school for education. And that's kind of his path right now, is to go to school and get his degree in education. And then, I don't know, whatever else is after that. Would he get a master's and a doctorate and all of that? So that's the path right now. And we're just home full time at the moment. He's looking for some work for this winter, just to kind of like tie up loose ends, give him something to do. And we'll see if that pans out. Otherwise, we will hard charge it in the spring. And in the spring, it'll be back to hustling, full-time hustling. So we're just going to enjoy this little bit of a winter break that we have right now and kind of squash all the stress we've been living in, this cloud of stress that's just been sucking the life out of us for the last 3 years. It's going to get better, though. It's like this is the 40-year midlife crisis, and it's all just up from here, right, guys? It's headed up from here. Oh, Aaron says, that's my husband, The Quest, on YouTube. If you guys want to check out his channel, he hasn't started it really yet, but you can subscribe over there to him, and I'm sure he'll be sharing some stuff in the future, some retired life stuff. you know, whatever he gets into. He gets into a lot. Like, between the two of us, to slow down this winter, I tell you what, I keep saying we're going to slow down this winter. We're going to slow down this winter. We're going to slow down this winter. And then both of us are like looking for the next thing. That's just how our minds work. That's how our bodies work. We can't really slow down. We try to. Our bodies do slow us down. So the only way that he or I really slow down is he threw his back out last week. So he's kind of recovering from that. And then like when I have my flare-ups and my pain episodes and those type of things, that's when I get knocked down. And we both listen to our bodies because we have to, because we can't do anything else when we're in those situations. So, you know, sometimes our bodies force us to rest, and that's really the only time that either one of us slow down. And how about y'all? Do y'all have a hard time slowing down? Or are you really good at resting? Are you good at shutting off your brain and reading a book? Because my brain goes, read a book. The only time I read books is when I'm pregnant. And I'm not really sure why that is, but when I'm pregnant, I will sit down and I enjoy reading a book. I think it's because my legs and my body gets really tired and I have to sit down and rest. And so I enjoy reading a book. But really, if I'm sitting down resting, I'm doing something on my phone, and then it's like right back to the next thing. Can't stop. Can't slow down. As much as I want to. I need to turn off this heater though, because my face is cooking. But yeah, this winter, we're slowing down. We are going to shovel the snow and then spend the next week recovering our backs from shoveling the snow, because, you know, we're going to shovel the snow and throw our backs out. It's just the season of life that we're in. But I told Aaron today, I said, we've got to get out into the garage gym. We've got to get out there and we got to start pumping iron and getting ourselves strong, because as you age, you lose muscle mass. I've been losing muscle mass at a very alarming speed. That's why we've kind of determined from blood test results and from my gut issues and from my muscle loss and all that stuff. That's why I started walking. I'm like, I gotta, you know, start walking and maintain my muscle mass. I've got to get my lymphatic system flowing. So that's why the walking started. But yeah, we got to get out there and start getting strong and getting fit, because with the state that the world is in, we have to be able to be fighters in this life right now, right? We've got to be strong. We've got to be able to defend ourselves. We've got to be able to protect ourselves, protect our families. We've got to be able to hike up a big mountain to find the elk if we need to. Got to hike up the mountain to find the deer if we need to. So you've got to be strong. You've got to be ready, fighting fit, all that kind of stuff. So this was supposed to be a catch up with you guys. I hope that I shed some light kind of on what's been going on the last 8 months or so since March. I kind of got really quiet about it just because I can't talk about it. The moment I start talking about, just gotta not talk about it. That's just how I'm coping with it right now. So we'll get there. We're gonna take it one day at a time. We're gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep nourishing our bodies. We're gonna keep eating right. Keep rising every single day. Keep adventuring. All that stuff. And live to see another day. Thank you, Sarah. If I try to read, I just end up reading the back of my eyelids. See, that's a thing though. When I'm pregnant, I'll read so that I can take a nap. You've been working hard in the fitness department too. Are you struggling with muscle mass? Like, I think women lose a lot quicker than men too, especially when we start approaching midlife time. Um, but I was just shocked because I thought I had muscles. And then when I did all like the muscle testing and all the body testing stuff that they do, yeah, my muscles are disappearing. And that's not a good thing. So I need to get back to it. I mean, I'm having a hard time holding my skillets, um, my cast iron pots and pans and things like that. They're getting pretty heavy. I thought by using cast iron it would help me stay strong, but I guess I need to be doing curls with my pans in between pancakes, or in between cooking. I need to start curling them because even my grip has gotten really weak. So holding a pan for any length of time is just getting kind of dangerous because I'm getting a little bit of the dropsies with my grip and my strength in my arms. So we got to start pumping some iron. Walking has helped. I think it's helped my leg muscles, but I've got to work on these arm muscles. I used to have motocross muscles. I don't know if you've ever seen motocross racers, but a lot of people think that riding a motorcycle is easy. It's actually really difficult, and it requires a lot of muscles, and it requires a lot of core strength, and it requires a lot of grip strength in your hands to be able to hold on to that powerful beast with your hands. And so I used to work in excavation and construction and shovel a lot. So I used to have like really strong hands, really strong arms, shoulders, back. But I feel like I cannot believe how weak I've gotten. So it's bizarre. It's a little bit concerning, but we're just going to keep at it and get back to maybe start doing CrossFit again, but on a lighter scale. I have to really slowly work my way into that type of physical activity. So I think everybody does. If you are looking for a workout program, any type, if you want to start working out, you really need to start walking. Don't go out there and start pumping iron and thinking that you're going to run a mile right off the bat. Start with walking. And that's what Aaron's been telling me for years. He's like, honey, just start with walking. He's like, you don't need to go out there and lift weights. You don't need. And he kept saying to me, walk, walk, walk. Because I always just want to go out there, do the row machine, start lifting weights, and jump back into a workout routine that I did 10 years ago. And I'm not Katie 10 years ago anymore. And I was doing CrossFit and working out all the time and racing motocross and doing all that stuff. I'm not that person anymore. Been sitting in a chair nursing babies for 11 and a half years, and that takes its toll. I thought holding babies and carrying babies would keep me strong. But alas, losing all the muscle mass. Cast iron is no joke. You hold a lot of muscle, but you've been consistently lifting for years. See, I thought I was holding muscle. I thought I had muscles. I don't know. I think that the testing that they did was a lie. But apparently my liver is spitting out some stuff, and my gut's just not absorbing nutrition. It's not doing the thing it's supposed to do to break down your food to absorb nutrition. It's not happening for me. So even though I'm on like a carnivore heavy diet, I'm still losing muscle mass at an alarming rate. I guess I need to get a dirt bike and start riding motocross again. Okay. You want to see something break into a million pieces? You just had your shoulder operated on, had a rotator cuff and a tendon fix. My bicep needed work. Hoping it heals well. I hope it heals well too. I hope it heals well too, Sharon. I have a torn labrum in this shoulder, and I have a real hard time reaching up high for things, picking heavy things off of a shelf. I can't do that kind of stuff with this arm. I can't reach behind me and grab stuff very well. This shoulder's just pile drove into the backside of a landing, dirt landing on a motocross track. So I like jumped here, but then there was a landing here, and you're supposed to land here. but instead I landed there. I went into the dirt, into my shoulder, and I've never had it operated on, and I'm trying to avoid that. But it's a partial tear. It's not a fully torn labrum. It's a partial tear, bursitis, and it feels like I have a softball lodged in my shoulder blade 100% of the time. So that's not fun. Last time I had it checked out, I was breastfeeding a baby, like a 2-month-old, and I opted not to have any surgery or anything done. I was totally freaked out by that whole thing. I was like, how am I going to have surgery with no support system? So we've just let it go. And so it might be hanging on by a thread right now. We're just not going to address that issue because I don't want to. Just suffer with the pain of it. Maybe in a couple years if it gets... I just don't want to go under the knife. I feel, and I know that you just had shoulder surgery, but I feel like it's just really scary for me, especially with scleroderma and scar tissue issues. I also get like keloid scars. So I worry about going under the knife and having a surgery and there being scar tissue, really bad scar tissue, lots of collagen buildup, and keloid scars and just that kind of stuff. So I'm freaked out about soft connective tissue issues, having a soft connective tissue rheumatic disease. It's kind of freaking me out. Hopefully I don't have to have a surgery and that I can just take care of my shoulder and not stress it out anymore and not do anything else stupid to it. Reaching back in the car seat behind me to like stick a binky in a baby's mouth, can't do that kind of stuff. That's what really caused a lot of problems too. So yeah, you're right, Sharon. It doesn't take long for your body to deteriorate. No, it doesn't. And especially when you're a woman and you've had children and they've kind of like taken from all those stores, it's hard. It's hard to get all of that back. I thought, that's why I feel like I've been like kicking me when I'm down. I thought I was doing such a good job of replenishing and eating and nourishing. I thought I was doing so good. It's such a defeating feeling to feel like you work so hard to be healthy, only to get smacked in the face. It's hard. It's frustrating, but we're going to keep plugging away at it. I'm going to keep on sharing healthy meals on this channel. Try not to bog it down with all this autoimmune stuff because it's a Debbie Downer. But we're just going to keep plugging away at meal prep. We are going to plug away at our, what are we calling it? Balling on a budget. Did anybody else? You guys are going to catch the replay and you're going to see, and maybe you'll comment then. We're trying to come up with a November extreme grocery budget challenge, and we need a hashtag for it. My husband says ballin' on a budget, or BAWLN, like ballin' on a budget, because we're sad we can't eat as good as we did. No, I'm just joking. Ballin' on a budget, or like ballin' on a budget. So have 2 days to come up with that, or by the time my first grocery haul video drops for November, I need a hashtag for that, and it has to be kind of short and catchy. So maybe it'll be ballin' on a budget. It's just ballin' on a budget. Seems kind of long to me. Wordy. Healing Fibers says, just keep moving forward. That's what we do every day. We wake up and we keep moving. Every day that we can move, we're getting up and we're moving. Both Aaron and I. We've got to keep moving, because if we stop moving, we get all stiff and decrepit. And I know mornings are worse for me. I wake up and I have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning and getting my body moving. It's rough, but we got to keep moving, because the option is just to get decrepit and crippled, and I'm not ready for that. Not happening. We're going to keep moving. Central Kentucky. Betsy, Central Kentucky. We've actually looked at Kentucky a little bit, quite a bit. For land, we've considered moving to Kentucky. It seems like it's one of the undiscovered states of the country that has a lot of really awesome potential. So let me know, how do you like Kentucky? Do you know anything about their homeschool laws and their income tax stuff? Although I think Aaron's income is tax free. I don't think you can tax his future income unless it's like a job working for somebody else. But that's something that we need to keep in mind. If they do income tax in those states, or if they tax military retirements, that's something that we are keeping in mind, because we're trying to keep as much income as we can without paying it all to taxes if we don't have to. So, but Kentucky, yes. We actually, one of Aaron's buddies in the Air Force is from Kentucky, so we've consulted with him about it quite a bit. It's on our list. It's on our list. But we have a bunch of places on our list. We're not sure, if you guys missed it, we're not sure if Oregon's our forever home. We've been ready to hightail it out of this state. And then when it came down to it and he's retiring in November, we're just taking our time. We're not in a rush. We're not going to make any rash decisions when we're coming out of this really stressful time in life. We're not going to make any major financial decisions or do anything crazy right now. So Brandy says, I like ballin' because with all the preservation, you can still eat very well if you're creative. Yes, that is very true. My goal is when I do grocery shop to kind of go in the earlier morning, because that's when they have all of the discount produce out from the previous day that they've taken off the shelves. So I'm going to be doing that. And then our first freeze tonight. It's freezing there tonight. Yeah, our freezes started about a week or two ago. But yes, do you guys get lots of snow in the wintertime? We think we want to live in a place that doesn't get a lot of snow in the wintertime. We say that now, but I'm a 4-season girl, born and raised, always love the 4 seasons, love, love, love. However, the cold is brutal to me. One of the symptoms of scleroderma is Raynaud's, and that's a rather unpleasant condition to have. So being in the colder climate is a little brutal. But we've done things this year, and I'm prepared more this year to battle the cold than I have been in years past. Here comes my family. It is time for me to go say goodnights to all the kiddos. And she's fine. To go say goodnight to all the kiddos. They're getting all their teeth brushed. That's one of the things that Aaron has taken over too. He does bedtime routine. And he's done that for a long time. It started when we had multiple babies, and I would be nursing or putting the infant baby asleep, and then he just took over with the toddlers, doing all that stuff. So it's kind of been his role, and it's worked out really well. So I do like the morning stuff, and if he's home, then he does the evening stuff. So, which is cool, because then I can clean the kitchen and get the coffee maker and all that stuff done in peace with no interruptions. So if you know what it's like trying to get anything done at the end of the day and have lots of interruptions, so we divide the tasks. He takes care of the kiddos, and I take care of the kitchen. So it's good to hang out with you all. And we will do this again next Monday night. Drop a comment down below if you have ideas for topics. We're not going to address the autoimmune topic again on this channel for quite some time. I'm thinking I'll start a separate channel for that stuff and for that journey. And I will start sharing more about that in the new year once I start seeing the specialists and we start traveling down that road. But for now, I'm just going to live in happy oblivion that everything's fine. So that we can enjoy the next couple of months, and so that we can all just stabilize our cortisol levels. Because retirement is November 13th, y'all. November 13th. And it's just a good feeling. It's just a good feeling to not have everything that comes along with being attached to the military on our shoulders. It's going to be nice. It's going to be, can breathe again. Hi, Kylie. Just saw you hopped on here. Glad to see you here, Kylie. And I'm still working through all that einkorn. I've been adding it to different things. It's delicious. Or the kids think it's delicious. Unfortunately, I don't know, but I can smell it. So smelling the bread has been amazing. I taught Hagen today how to make a loaf of bread in the bread machine, and it turned out beautiful. She did an amazing job. So trying to, I told the kids, I was like, I'm going to teach you each a kitchen task, one of our regular cooking tasks. Like I might have one of the kids learn how to make rice, and then that will be their task. Hagen's got the bread. Maybe Riker can do the rice. Torsten likes to cut up things. Well, they all like to cut up things, and then they all kind of crack the eggs. So anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. I am going to sign off now, and I will see you all in the next Monday's live. And we might talk Thanksgiving Day menu in that live, just because we've got to hash out what we're going to do for the big feast. And I know it's basically the same stuff all the time, but I might want to try a few new recipes. One thing I did want to say is I have a bunch of sales coming up this month, brand deals. I don't know if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, but brands give me deals to pass along to you all. So I'm going to be posting those on my community page. Right now, Caraway is having a huge sale on their website, and Caraway is a pots and pans ceramic coated cookware company. If you're into that kind of stuff, I do have a link in all of my videos, or most of my videos, for Caraway. And they're having a sale right now. I believe, I want to say it's 20% off. Then Personal Creations is having a sale starting November 1st, and I will share the short on that day. But they're having a 40% off of all of your personalized Christmas decor, like stockings and things like that. Nutrimill's going to be having a sale. There's a bunch of sales coming up for Black Friday. So I will keep posting those things on my community page as they come up, if that helps you guys out. If not, I don't want y'all to think that I'm like posting to make sales or whatever. I'm just passing along the good deals that I get. And if you need any of these items, then you know where you can score a good deal. Because a lot of these brands I have a continuous partnership with, and so they always offer a continuous discount. However, during this holiday season, that discount gets increased for you. So I will do my best to be sharing all of those with you guys so that you can have a frugal option as well. If you need anything for your kitchen, I'm going to be sharing a really awesome croquette, and that is a ceramic coated cast iron cooking pot that is taller than a Dutch oven, and it has a special lid that helps all the moisture drip back down onto the meats. So I'm going to be sharing that with you guys, and that comes from a French-based company. And they're having a sale too. So they actually have the vacuum sealed glass containers that I use on my channel all the time, the Zwilling containers. So they're having a sale, but they sell the Zwilling glass containers, vacuum sealed glass containers. They also sell ceramic dishware. It's a different brand, but it's under the same umbrella. And they sell the enamel coated cast iron Dutch ovens, skillets, pots, pans, everything you can think of. They have all of that stuff on their website as well. Staub, S-T-A-U-B, Zwilling, Z-W-I-L-L-I-N-G. And then I can't remember their ceramic dishware stuff, but all of that stuff's going to be on sale. I'm going to post about it to help you guys get good deals if there's anything that you need for your kitchen wares. And that's it. Let's see. Mark. Oh, hi, Nikki. Nikki, that was my mom's name. I think every time you comment, I say that. I say, that was my mom's name. She spelt it N-I-C-K-I. And then Cheryl said, good night, Katie and family. Thank you, Cheryl. And Sarah and Sharon, Brandy. We've got Carol. We've got Lisa. Estrella, I didn't see your comment. Oh, so Estrella, you were talking about your pregnancy. You like to do it the natural way. Got all that stuff for you on my channel, like I said before. Check out those pregnancy teas. There's lists down below in those videos, descriptions of all the herbs, all the measurements for all those teas that you need. It's not medical advice. It's just pregnancy safe herbal teas to help replenish and nourish your body. All right, y'all. I'm seriously signing out because I hear my kids are done getting ready. So I'm going to sign out of here, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry if I got all choked up and emotional. I have had the hardest time talking about that whole situation with anybody. It's like really impossible for me to talk about. But we're going to stay hopeful. We're going to stay upbeat. We're going to keep rising, and it's not going to get any of us down, right? I'm not going to let it take us. I'm not going to let it take us down. I'm not going down without a fight. All right, y'all. I'll see you next time.